Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Friday to you guys out there. We have a ton of content to get to, and of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't cover responses to this Blackface scandal that rocked Bachelor Nation last week. Of course, Eric Schwer, finalist on Gabby's season of The Bachelorette, exposed from a decades-old blackface photo of him dressed up as Jimi Hendrix in his high school yearbook in Bedminster, New Jersey. He has apologized, and now, like I said, it would be only right to hear other people from Bachelor Nation weigh in on this. We have Olu and Riley were caught on the streets by TMZ and weigh in with their opinion, and also after that, I've got Rachel Lindsay's take. It's always important to share her take as one of my favorite voices in Bachelor Nation. She doesn't weigh in on all the little topics, but of course, when there's something as egregious as this, we expect her to share her opinion on our Higher Learnings podcast. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. I'm also on Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal. And don't forget, we've got our ongoing fall teacher appreciation of the day. And today it's Emily. Emily's our teacher from teaching physical science in Oregon. And it's her fourth year teaching, and she's got an Amazon wish list. Link in the comment section below if you want to donate. There's items that are $5, $27, and different items on there that she can use your help. Let's wipe out that wish list. And here's what Olu and then Riley have to say regarding Eric's exposed photo of him in blackface.
Hey Olu, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. So, of course I have to ask you, have you seen the images of Eric from high school, wearing blackface?
Oh man, I definitely have seen it. It's honestly a disappointment, huge disappointment in the black community, the world as a whole, Blackface, it was the birth of an American stereotype, so.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you were very offended as a black person.
Yeah, I was offended. It's great he wanted to be Jimi Hendrix, but, it stems deep, the history of blackface.
Right. Do you believe his apology?
Honestly, I don't know what to believe in today's society. You would think we progress, but although that picture was 10 years ago, someone in his community should have told him, this is a red flag.
Right. Well, do you think that it was done out of malice or just him trying to match you with his costume?
I don't think it was anything malicious. He probably genuinely just wanted to be Jimmy, but unfortunately he can't. And if Jimmy came out of his grave, he'll slap him.
Do you think
he says Jimmy would have come out of his grave and slapped him? And here's Riley's response. Oh, I got to play an ad here. So, okay, here's TMZ. Look, who am I to weigh in on my opinion here? I think it's great for them to say, hey, look, it wasn't right. And where were the people in his community? And when you're a 17-year-old, where were the teachers and everyone else saying, hey, wipe that off? What are you doing?
From The Bachelorette.
By the way, Riley, one of my favorite people from The Bachelor. Always, I've loved Riley's story.
10 years ago, he was wearing blackface, and the images have resurfaced. As a black man, how do you feel about that? And a former, Bachelorette contestant. How do you feel about that?
Well, how am I trying to put it? I think when I think about it, I look at it as when you think about blackface and you think about the history of it, it's upsetting, right? Because it was used as a means to take the beautiful features of black people and then use and manipulate those into something that was dehumanizing. And when you think about it in that aspect, it's just simply frustrating. And it's upsetting to see that behavior still goes on today. I don't know the ins and outs of the details of this particular situation, but I just know as a black man, to hear that those things are going on, it is upsetting. In terms of the young man, Eric, I believe you said his name was.
Yes.
I do hope that he has learned, from the situation. I hope he educates himself on the background, of blackface and the history of it in this country, so that he can do better in the future. I believe that, people can learn from their mistakes. So if he's willing to put in the effort to actually learn about it and do better going forward, then I'm sure he'll be just fine.
Riley, and Olu. Now we have Rachel Lindsay. Let's have a listen.
I want you to make sure that you introduce it properly because it's coming from your neck of the woods.
I don't want to talk about this.
Yes, please.
Shit.
We have to, Rachel.
Why? Okay. In Bachelor World, as we said, as sure as there will be roses, there will be racism when it comes to the Bachelor franchise. And last week we touched on the fact that one of the finalists, rumored to be frontrunner, Eric Schroer, unclear, was photographed and published in blackface in his high school yearbook. So there's two people that are at fault here. And now we have more background as to what happened because we didn't quite know before, but Eric here was pictured in blackface. We saw that, got that down, but we didn't know who he was or what he was trying to be. Not that this makes it any better, but Eric has since issued an apology. We knew that was coming. And he says that he was wearing an afro. Well, we saw he's wearing an afro and blackface to make his complexion darker because he was dressed up as Jimi Hendrix, who he said he has a lot of love for. And so in his apology, he said, quote, "I wholeheartedly apologize for the insensitive photo of me in blackface from my high school yearbook that has been circulating. What I thought at the time was a representation of my love for Jimi Hendrix was nothing but ignorance." He goes on to say, "I was naive to the hurtful implications of my actions to the Black community and those closest to me, and will forever regret my offensive and damaging behavior. I'm deeply ashamed by my actions and understand that my apology is only the first step in taking accountability, and probably the last." I'm just kidding. The last part was not in there, but let's just.
Now, the reason we have this, I think, came out yesterday, and we've had so much content to get to that I just didn't want to make light of this. Education and conversation are so important. So it's never right to say, well, it used to be okay. It's not whether it was ever morally okay or not. The answer is no, it was not okay. Now, we did discuss that there were times when it was done anyway, meaning while it wasn't okay, it's almost like as Twitter takes off is when a lot of people get shamed into realizing, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. So it's not to make excuses for it, but just to say, we have to understand that this sort of social movement all kicks off with Twitter. It kicks off with this collective sharing of like, hey, this is mocking. You shouldn't be doing this. So anyway, but I think it's so important to continue to have these conversations.
Just be honest, okay? He's sorry after the fact.
Yep.
What does accountability mean?
Rachel, you know what you're doing again.
I don't care.
You're judging people's apology.
I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'm sorry. It's so like when it comes to Bachelor Nation, and then on just as you can expect for him to, the apology was coming after it was found out, which this photo came out and he took this photo in 2011, 2012, which I don't care how big of a white community you come from. Within the last 10 years, you at some point knew blackface was wrong, but yet you still go on a show knowing this could possibly come out because, you know, all you have to do is issue an apology. And then just as on cue, some Black contestant that was on your season is going to take up for you and also feel that they have to give a statement.
Okay, so now Rachel, obviously very smart, former lawyer. I don't think she's a practicing lawyer anymore. She's making an assumption that he remembered he did this. Now, I don't know what he did or didn't remember, but I think it's important to say a lot of people don't remember what they did in high school. Everyone, and I say that because how many people have been exposed for their previous tweets and things that they've said, and they go, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I had no idea I said X, Y, and Z, or this, that, and the other. So that's an assumption she's making. So she's saying he would have remembered. Why hasn't he apologized? You don't apologize till you get caught. And I say, how many instances do we have where someone apologizes before they get caught? It's just one of those things. You learn from your past, you bury your shame, and you hope not to do it again, right?
In your defense, to talk about how great of a person that you are. The person who did it this time is a Black man on the show who wears twists and lets these white folks call him floppy hair Nate. I can't with this.
Oh, very loud, very loud.
I can't with any of it. I cannot with any of it.
I want to see Floppy.
Name.
Wait a minute. Wait, I never saw Floppy.
So we have Rachel calling out, and I think we'll end it there because you can go check the full episode out. It came out, I guess, yesterday or 2 days ago, the Higher Learning Podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, all those, and also on YouTube. And, of course, she's calling out Nate, who said, you know, he, of course, is always going to be a black contestant who absolves them of their sins. And the truth is, not one person can't absolve anybody else. I can't accept his apology because it's not meant for me, those types of things. But like I said, it's important to have the conversation. Trust me when I say this. Trust me when I say this. Find me Bachelor recappers, find me Bachelor commenters that want to get involved in these conversations because they are few and far between. People say, well, not my place to talk, and I totally understand that. We're not shying away from it. I appreciate the different points of views that we have here, and at the same time, all Eric can do between this controversy and his other is to try to be the best version of himself moving forward. That's really all anybody can do. We'll have to see how that all transpires. Give people as much grace as you humanly can, but just do the best you can yourself is all I gotta say. All right, I'm on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for private behind-the-scenes content coming after this. Our teacher of the day is in the comment section if you want to donate to her. Do good. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.